The Sims 4 is not your livelihood, and I'm going to tell you why. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. All the EA Creator Network and Sims 4 content creators using the term, this is my livelihood, as an excuse for their complicit non action or putting their heads in the ground, whatever they're doing to avoid the situation going on with the EA buyout. Hi everyone, we're back with another video, and once again I want to say a big thank you to my new subscribers and everyone showing so much love on my channel. Welcome to my channel. This is Ricky Stars, where we talk about lots of topics and topics related to gaming, topics related to beauty, industry, consumerism, capitalism. That's what we talk about over here. If you like what you're hearing or if you love the community, feel free to subscribe, like, and comment. And we're going to get into today's video. So, lots of my other videos, we've been talking about the EA buyout. My last video, it was a commentary to Black Simmers, and this video is going to be to Sims 4 content creators. That's who I'm going to be talking to today, because I have seen so many videos just with Sims 4 creators speaking out. I've seen a lot of great posts from Sims 4 content creators that are speaking out. For example, SimSiga, I think their name is Duplicity Sims. Like so many, D'Angelo, so many great Sims 4 content creators speaking out, saying, "Hey, I'm no longer part of the EA Creator Network, and this is why." And I fully support them. I'm so happy that individuals are out there speaking out and standing up, because, like I said before, this buyout is not something that we can avoid or not talk about. It's a big deal. It's a big deal when a government buys a game, especially the history of the government. I mean, it's so big that US senators are now worried about it. And just because US senators are worried about it doesn't mean that the deal isn't going to go through. Like, I want to make that like a big point in this video. That does not mean the deal isn't going to go through. That just means that the senators are worried about the deal. But what do we know about the US Senate? It is divided. There is bipartisanship in the US Senate, and there is a major factor pushing this deal. The president's son-in-law is behind it. So I just want everybody to not give out false information that the deal might not go through and things like that. Like, for them to announce the deal globally, the likelihood of the deal going through, unless we all come together and speak out and collectively share our voice and dissent toward this deal, 9 times out of 10 it's going to go through. But if we all just sit back and twiddle our hands, not say anything, still do the same thing, nothing's going to happen. The only change that can happen is collective resistance, our resistance, and collective cooperation among our voices to speak out against things. That's number one rule of social justice movements, is that you need the collective. You need the community to speak out and speak up for change to happen. Change does not happen by just sitting on your hands. Change does not happen by just looking the other way. And change does not happen by just keeping pressing on. Like, that's just not how social injustice works. If you look at every social justice movement, change happens because collective action. That is the reality of social injustice. And I'm going to keep to my notes, because I do have notes today. So this is my advice to Sims 4 content creators who are like, "Oh my gosh, my livelihood, what am I going to do? There's no way I can let go of this game. Like, this game supports me," whatever excuse you want to use. Here's my advice. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, so that you know, like, I would never tell you something that I haven't done myself. I'm not a hypocrite. A hypocrite is someone who would advise you to do something that they haven't done myself. Outside of the Sims, I was a decade academic. So I spent my life in academia. I got every degree, 4-year bachelor, year and a half for my master's, 3 years for my PhD, I trained myself. I was working in academia, administrative role. I was a professor. I did everything in academia to create a career in academia. However, despite the fact that academia was what I was as a person and who I was, how I defined myself, and it was my paycheck, my income, I left academia. Why did I leave academia? I left academia for a number of reasons. Okay. So, the first reason why I left academia is because the exploitation of students. As someone with over 40K of student loans, academia is not there for you to be your friend. It's not there to help you. It's there to exploit you. It is a money making business, and they want to make money off the backs of you and your dreams or whatever you go there for. That's the first thing I found out. Money moves a lot in academia, but it doesn't move for the students or for the faculty. Some of the staff, yes, but it doesn't move for the people who need it the most. The second reason why I left academia is because all the universities I worked for had a and went to school with had a long history of colonial mindsets and exploitation of marginalized voices. For example, TCU, where I worked, Texas Christian University, was built on the back of an indigenous graveyard. They also had a history of having like I shouldn't say this, but having like slave auctions for, like, I think a sorority or someone did it like back in the day, and they are very racist at that institution. I experienced racism at working at that institution, and it was not a space for me. So I left that space. The second university was Texas Women's University. I worked there. I went there as a student for my master's and my doctoral degree. And I learned about Quakertown, which was an all Black community, very similar to the communities we learned about Seneca Village, very similar to Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. All of those things that you see happened right here in Texas and Denton, Texas. And when I learned about that and learned that the only reparations that was received was them building an amphitheater with Quakertown as a monument, I was like, that's not a lot. That's not enough. And I can't work for an institution that not only doesn't support their students, but also doesn't support like eradicating this history of exploitation and using violence to facilitate racism and white supremacy. Like, I cannot work for that. So I stepped away after getting my doctorate in 2023. I completely left academia. I left teaching earlier that year in August, and I completely left academia December 2023. And it was hard. It was not an easy thing to do, and I'm not saying it would be easy for some of these content creators to stand up and have a voice against what's happening with EA. Change is not easy. Change is hard. But what stops change is when we're too scared to do the hard things, when we're too scared to push back towards those things that have supported us. It was not easy. I can tell you that, leaving academia. But how I feel today, looking back on that, that was the right decision, because academia has one less voice that is going to support them in their exploitation. And I have a greater impact helping students, helping people navigate academia on this side of things so that they don't get exploited, so that I'm not participating in um, just in problematic institutions. And I know there are some ways in which we all have to participate in these institutions. Like I said in the last video, not like necessity items. For example, my iPhone, I need a phone. So iPhone is problematic, yes, but I need a phone. And the options for phones are limited. Just like when you go eat that chicken owned by Tyson, a problematic company, you have to eat some food, right? Just like when you eat that tomato that has been picked by somebody who was exploited in California, you have very limited options for your tomato. You like to drink chocolate milk from Nestle? Nestle is problematic. It killed lots of African babies in the past, but you have to drink the milk, right? Some things you need, some things are marginalized, monopolized consumerist culture where you don't have a lot of choices. For a video game, you have choices. To be a content creator, you have choices. And the choice that you choose is very relevant to the outcome of this. I guarantee you, if a lot of Sims 4 content creators stepped up and said, "Hey, I'm leaving your network. I'm leaving you because your your values of your owners do not align with my values," change would take place. But change isn't going to take place with you sitting on your hands and doing nothing. So here's my advice to you. My number one advice to you is leave the EA Creator Network. That's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum. I'm saying you can still create your Sims 4 content videos. You can still play the game. You can record yourself playing the game, but you can at least leave the network if you're still in the network, because you being part of the network is them using your face and your platforms and your tools for their own propaganda, and it's not okay. And like I said before, is 5% really worth it? You can leave the creator network and still be on your own. Satchon Sims just released a video where he told y'all, I'm not even part of EA Creator Network. I'm just going to be over here on my own, film my content. That was for him. That's what he can do. But at least he's not part of this network that is literally contributing to the game continuously being broken and nothing being fixed. And instead, they continue to put out more packs that y'all promote as their shields. Step one, leave the network. Leave it. It's hard, sure, but you still can make your content on YouTube, on TikTok, and Twitch, and whatever you choose to do. But at least that will be some sort of stand up. The second advice, play other games. There's other games out there. SimSega is playing, I think, Sims 3. A lot of people went back to Sims 1, 2, and 3. Do that at least. At least it's something. At least it's something you can do. But to stay quiet and say, "Oh, I'm just going to keep things as is," that's problematic. To stand there and pose at TwitchCon and like nothing's happening, that is disrespectful, and that is an insult to your viewers who are part of BIPOC, LGBTQIA plus, and part of communities that have been disenfranchised by this government and continue to be marginalized by your actions. Like that's problematic. So you can play other games. You can have other content on your channel. I don't know, do something. Like, you're a content creator. You got a mass following. I'm pretty sure if you explored other options, you would find something that worked for you. Do something. It's better than not doing nothing. Okay? Thank you. Like, do something. Thirdly, you can use your platform to incite change. Like, you can use your platform for many different things. Like, you can use your platform to fight against social injustice. And I don't just mean throwing money at causes, but I mean actually using your platform for change, actually using your platform to do something about many of the social injustices in the world. I mean, pick one: environmental, social, racism, sexism, home. Like, pick one, pick a social injustice and use your platform. Consumerism, overconsumption. Like, just use your platform for something good other than sitting up here supporting a broken game and building pretty houses and making pretty faces. Like, do something. Do something. Cut the nostalgia, capitalist mechanism, and do something, honestly. And lastly, listen, like I said, there's other content, there's other creative ways that you can do things. And I'm not saying every Sims 4 content creator has to give up what they love, but at least leave the network. I'm not saying everyone has to delete their Sims 4 videos. I mean, I did it because I was like, listen, I don't, I'm not gonna, I'm a radical. I'm like, no, 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 not gonna flow like over here. But you could at least do something. Like, so you tell me y'all just gonna sit there and go as normal as this? Really? Really? Is that what we've come to? Is that where we are? Like, really?